Good afternoon, sixth graders. Wednesday today, second day, true day of sixth grade. Hopefully yesterday went great for everyone. Just want to give you a little overview here, plan of what we're going to do for reading class starting today. For the rest of the week, you're going to be working on a presentation that will combined with what you are doing in Mr. Mangone's class. There you're doing the writing portion of the presentation or of the project, and in reading class, you'll be actually making the presentation for that relates to those questions. So today, Wednesday, and tomorrow, Thursday, you will have 2 days to work on creating your presentation. And then on Friday, you will be presenting this project to your classmates that are in your advisory class on Friday. So this morning in Mr. Mangone's class, you should have started answering some questions. I believe there were 15 different questions, questions that consists of maybe things that you liked, things that you disliked, things that you were good at, maybe things that you weren't good at, things that you needed to improve on, things that you don't need to improve on, and all that sort. So you'll continue working on those questions and answering those questions with Mr. Mangone. And then in reading, you will, like I said a little bit ago, you will be taking those questions and those answers and turning it into a presentation. So at this point, you probably have, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there, questions answered. So you're able to start the presentation portion during reading class because you do have some answers already created. Before I get into how to create this presentation and how, the different requirements and how you set up your PowerPoint slide and all that sort, I just want to show you an example again. Yesterday in my Get to Know video and the All About Me video, I showed you what this presentation is going to look like, but I just want to go through it again so that you guys have an idea that's fresh in your head of what it should look like when it's completed. So when I go into this, it's the All About Me. So notice how this is one Google slide. I don't have 7 different slides and a picture on each slide. I've got one slide with images on that picture. Okay. Notice how I have the title up here and it says Mr. Arnold's All About Me. That's so that people, anyone that's walking around, knows who these pictures are for and who's presenting. So that's something that you're going to need to include is your name. Okay, you're going to need to include your name. And then notice how I have pictures spread out around the Google slide. That's there for me to be able to then present to the class. So I on here have 10 pictures. You guys are going to be needing to do 12 pictures. I only have 10. If I were doing it for a presentation for Friday, I would add a couple more pictures so that I could explain there. Notice how I don't have words under any of the pictures. All I have is the images, because that's just to hopefully help me remember what I'm going to say about each of the different photos. So this is what a finished product should look like. Notice how my pictures are not overlapping. They're not covering the whole entire page. They are just small little segments and spots spread out neatly, and I have a variety of different images. So this is what the finished product will eventually look like here. But how are you going to get to this finished product? Okay, first there's a little setup that we need to do. Before we get into that setup, I'm just going to read the overview here. Okay, so this is the exact directions, and this is found on your Google Classroom page. Okay, you can actually find these directions on your Google Classroom page. But I just want to let you know that these directions are on your Google Classroom page. Sorry there, I was recording and I had to move because some students came into the room. So again, these directions here. So what it says you're going to be creating an All About Me presentation that you will eventually be presenting to your classmates. This project will be a combination of reading and language class. The reading class component will consist of the creation of the presentation / Google slide itself, and the language class component will consist of answering survey questions to prepare for your presentation. You'll be given class time on both Wednesday, which is today, and Thursday to work on your project or speech. You'll be presenting the finished product in class on Friday. So that's kind of an overview. Now here's the instructions. Using Google Slides, you're going to create a 12-image presentation that explains who you are. Notice how, and remember when I was showing you my presentation, it was one slide that included all those images on that one slide. So that's what we'll be doing. Your 12 images will be composed from your 15-question survey that you did for Mr. Mangone. Pick 12 things that explain who you are. Again, you answered 15 questions or going to be answering 15 questions for Mr. Mangone. You don't need all 15 of those questions on your presentation. You only need to pick 12 of those. Once you have picked those 12 things, you need to find an image to represent each of those. Your slide needs to include 12 photos. And hint, your name can count as one of the 12 photos. So I would include your name. Once you have inserted all 12 images to your Google Slide presentation, feel free to add slide animations and to make it look presentable. After you're all complete, please turn your completed project into the Google Classroom assignment titled All About Me, Final Project Submission. Okay, so for this, when we are setting it up, okay, how we're going to set it up is we will go to our Google Classroom page. Okay, we'll go to our Google Classroom page. And up top here, it says in week 2, it says All About Me slide. Okay, that's where I want you to click on the All About Me slide. And then you're going to click on this. It says use this template for your presentation. So you're going to click on it, and it will make a copy for you. Okay, it'll make a copy for you so that only you can work on this. And this right here then is where you can start going to find your images that represent you. Again, you need 12 images out of your 15 questions. Now let's say you only have 5 of those questions answered today. Then that's fine. Then you only find the images that you have questions answered for. I don't want you going ahead. Okay, the first thing I would suggest you do is you design how you want your name. So if I was going to do this, I would put my first and last name. I could even say Brandon Arnold, All About Me project. Okay, so I have that. Obviously, I would do it better and I wouldn't just leave it black and white. I'd decorate it, but there's a start. And then to find some different images, I would go search from the web. Let's see, I really enjoy baseball. So I'm going to find an image and I'm going to put in baseball. Now it's going to come really big, but I don't want it to be that big. I want it there, and maybe I want it turned just a little bit because I like how the laces seem there. So then I have one. Technically, I'd have one image, and my name counts as another image, so I've had 2. Maybe the next question I answered was something that I need to improve on. Okay, so something I need to improve on. Let's see, what is something that Mr. Arnold needs to improve on? I need to improve on, let's just say, washing dishes. So I would maybe put this up there. Emily gets mad at me every once in a while when I forget to do my dishes and I leave kind of a pile in the sink, kind of her pet peeve. So that's something that I need to improve on. So I'd remember that when I'm giving them my presentation, I can give a little story about that. But that's how this project is going to go. Again, it's 12 images. Okay, all you need is 12 images to represent who you are based off of the questions and the answers from Mr. Mangone's class. Again, you have all of today and you have all of tomorrow to work on this. So this is not something that should be done today at all. It should not be done today at all because you have today and tomorrow to work on it. Again, as always, if there's any questions of what you need to do, how this needs to be accomplished, you can ask your advisory teacher or your homeroom teacher. You can shoot me an email, you can ask me, or you can come to Google Classroom here, and all the directions and examples should be right up on here. Awesome. Best of luck. Do a great job with this.